Good morning, everyone. 你好. Okay, so before we start, feel free to pop a short message in the chat to say who you are and where you are from. We're just going to wait a few more minutes before we start. Okay, no worries about having no knowledge of Mandarin at all today, and it's just a taster session. So either if you have knowledge or no knowledge, it will be fine. Ni hao, everyone. Okay, Ni hao from Scotland. So both Xiaoyan and myself, we are based at Scotland at the moment. Okay, I think we'll just get started. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so welcome to this session where we're going to discover the mystery of Chinese characters. Okay, I'll start with introducing myself. My name is Minrong Zhang, and I work for the Confucius Institute for Scotland Schools as a professional development assistant. And I'm also a Mandarin teacher, and I teach both secondary and university students. And Xiaoyan, would you like to introduce a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Mirong. Good morning, everyone. It's great to meet you here. My name is Xiaoyan Zhou, Mandarin teacher at CASE in Confucius for Scotland Schools as well. Same job role with Mirong. And thank you very much for signing in our session. We hope you will enjoy it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Xiaoyan. Okay, Chinese characters, also known as Hanzi, is one of the oldest known written languages that has approximately about 5,000 years history. And in today's session, I'll start with introducing the pronunciation of characters, pictograms, and ideograms. And Xiaoyan will be introducing strokes and radicals and philosophy of characters to you. And we'll also have a Q&A at the end. So during the session, if you have any questions, you can pop in the chat to let us know, okay? We'll be very delighted to discuss any questions you might have. Okay, so at first glance, Chinese characters can seem like a bunch of random and confusing symbols. And by putting them together, you might even think it looks like a QR code. So it might be confusing, but let's together uncover the clues together. So I'm going to show you the simplest characters in the world, and it can't be any easier, right? So pop in the chat if you already know the meaning of it. I can see some people already know this one. Yes. Okay, it's number one. It's just one line. It's just one line. And the pronunciation is E, and the one line, it means number one. Okay. And now I'm going to show you the complex character, the most complex character in the world. Okay. So this is overwhelming, right? But don't panic. 99% of Chinese people don't even know how to draw this character. And this character, so it is a type of thick noodles in Xi'an, and it is delicious. And in total, it has 56 strokes. And you don't need to be able to write it in order to try it. So if you go to Xi'an to see, for example, terracotta warriors, that's you can see terracotta warriors in Xi'an. And when you go to Xi'an, you can also try these noodles, and it's called biang biang noodles. Okay, biang biang noodles. And now let's together have a look. How do we pronounce Chinese characters? And I'm sure many of you already know how we say hello in Mandarin. How do we say hello in Mandarin? It is 你好, 你好. And in China, we use the pinyin system to support the pronunciation of characters. And the accent on top of the pinyin, they're called tones. And in the pinyin system, there are in total 4 tones, 4 basic tones. And I'm going to show you how to remember the 4 tones, because many people, they struggle with the tones, the pronunciation. So the first tone, okay, so imagine one day you suffer from toothache. So you go to see a dentist, and the dentist said, open your mouth. Ah, ah. So that is the first tone. It's high-pitched, ah. And the second tone, so the dentist said, oh, there's a big issue with your teeth. So you need to have some work done. And you're like, what? So the second tone is like, ah, ah. So it's rising tone, ah. Ah, it's because you eat too much chocolate. So the third tone is ah. So it's falling down and rising up. And the last tone, oh, you need to have some work done right now. And you're like, no. So the last tone is ah, ah. It's like falling down, falling down. Okay. So these are the 4 tones of Mandarin Pinyin. And so now try again. How do we pronounce 你好? It's 你好, 你好. Okay, so that is the pronunciation of Chinese characters. So now let's talk about characters. The writing system in Mandarin Chinese is pretty unique. It's not in alphabet like in English. Chinese characters are made up of what's called pictogram, ideograms, and logograms. So I'm going to show you an example of what is pictograms and ideograms. So now have a look at this image. So when you see this cigarette, okay, so you know it is a cigarette, and it's obvious it's cigarette. So this is called pictogram. And when you see this one, red circle and the bar, you know the meaning is no, you can't do certain things. That is ideogram. So basically, pictograms are pictures which resemble what they signify, and ideograms are pictures which represent ideas. And early written symbols or early written Chinese characters were based on pictograms and ideograms. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so these are very vivid examples of pictograms. Have a look at this picture. I'll give you 10 seconds to look at this picture. And then now I'm going to remove this picture and then give you a task. So what do the following characters mean? Type in a chat. Have a guess and type in a chat. Okay, I can see many of you. Very good guess. Okay, now let's together review the answers. So number 1, yes, it means mouth. Number 2, eyes. Number 3, ears. Number 4, hand. And number 5, foot. So you can see that pictogram characters are visual. Okay, so let's have a look at more examples. This character, it is the character for people or person. So the pronunciation is 人. So that's a person or people. And let's see the next one. 2 people. So the 2 people, it means to follow. Okay, and then 3 people, that means crowd. And now have a look at this one. A person surrounded by 4 walls. Okay, a person surrounded by 4 walls. Have a guess the meaning. Surrounded by 4 walls. And there's no gap. You can't go outside. You're locked inside. Perfect. I can see many good guesses. And the answer is prisoner. So this person, that is a prisoner. Okay. So you can see that in this picture, 人, the first character 人, that is pictogram, and the others, like to follow, crowd, or prisoner, they are ideograms. So Chinese characters are built part by part, and there are a lot of characters that can stand alone. For example, 人 for person, and some are built from left to right. For example, 从 to follow. Some are built from top to bottom, like crowd. And some are written outside in, like prisoner. Okay. So now let's have a look at more examples. This is fire, and this is the character for fire, 火. This is mountain. This is the character for mountain, 山. 火 and 山 together. What is 火山? Have a guess. Well done, perfect. I can see many of you say the correct answer. Volcano, 火山. And now have a look at this 口. That's mouth, we mentioned earlier. And this is the character for mouth, 口. This is water. This is the character for water, 水. 口 and 水. So that is mouth water. What is 口水? 口水. So we have different answers here. Spit, drink, perfume. What else? Saliva, spirit, bottle, thirsty. It's all related to water, drinking. Okay, so The correct answer is saliva. Okay, 很好. So now it's the quiz time. So if you have your phone or second device, you can scan this QR code, or you can find this link in the chat or in this I have already saved this under the quiz. So scan the code. And so for those who are going to watch the recording, you can also scan the QR code and have a look at the quiz. It's a short one, and I'm sure you will do well. Yes, you can do the quiz now. It's probably only take you 1 to 2 minutes to finish this one. And feel free to pop in the chat once you have finished to let us know how it went. Could do better. For those not obvious one, they might be ideograms. 6 out of 12, 12 out of 12, 8 out of 12. That is good result though. Consider that it's just like 15 minutes lesson. Okay, perfect. So I'm sure you would have enjoyed the quiz. So although pictograms are fun and beginner friendly, they only make up about 4% of all Chinese characters. So now I have finished the first two parts, and my colleague Xiaoyan is going to go into more depth. So I'm going to welcome Xiaoyan.
Thank you, Miro. Let me, so you can see my shared screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone again. I think you all got ideas how to pronounce Chinese characters and understood the appearance of the characters. From now, let's have a look at the strokes and the radicals, as well as the philosophy of characters. And after that is Q&A. Love the game. Yeah, everyone enjoy the games. Yes. Okay, let's look at Chinese character strokes and the radicals. Chinese characters are built by strokes like these, rather than the alphabet. Yeah. Picking some of those, we can build a character. Look at these strokes, for example. They make the character 你. You learned this with Minrong earlier. 你好,你. Let's look at another one. I combined a few strokes together already, and then let them meet. It makes 好,你好. The parts of the character, we call that as radical. As mentioned about the radical, let's look at this V man. It is a person, and when the V man stand on one foot, it becomes a radical, which indicates human. Okay. There are three characters that have person radical. The first one, you know already, that means you. The second one means he or him. The last one means uncle. They all human being, so they all have the person radical on the left. Okay, let's move on to the next group. Here is a lovely girl who is dancing. She is on the same position with the radical, the character female and the female radical. Let's look at characters. These three characters with female radical. The first one means she or her. And the second one means mom. And the last one means older sister. They all have female radical. Okay, got the ideas. Let's move on to the next radical, which is water radical. The three dots indicates water or liquids. I'm going to show you characters again. These characters have three dots on the left. The three short strokes which constitute the reduce the form of the water, and indicates that each character has some meaning related to water. The first one is river. Second one is lake. And I gave you the chance to guess the third meaning, the third character's meaning. What do you think the meaning of? We got the answer ocean. We do have the radical, water radical for ocean. Water, sea, I would say Chris and SIL got the correct answer, yeah, Judith, which is sea. Yes, they all have water radical. Okay, let's move on to next. The tree. This radical indicates wood. Look at character. The first one has one wood on the left. So this means tree. The second one has two. It means woods. Look at the third one. Guess the meaning for the third one. We have tree, we have woods, and three of those. What's the meaning? Well done, Jude. But we got so many forests. Well done, everyone. Super. Well done. Excellent. Yeah. Now let's move on to more practice. I gave you 8 characters. Please find the characters with the water radical or 3 dots and type their numbers into the chat. There are some tricky ones, so please take care to read the characters. Maria got 1567. That's correct answer. 13567. 13567. That's brilliant. Well done, everyone. Let's check the answers. Yeah, the answers are, if you get number 1, that's correct, with the 3 dots. And number 2, no, it's not water radical. And number 3, yes. Number 4 has only 2 dots. That's the wrong one. And number 5, number 6, and number 7, they have the water radical. Well done, everyone. And the last one is not, has the water radical. So before, we might have thought characters were as complicated as QR codes. Now, we've seen that they are not so complicated after all. Do you feel satisfied? pop message in the chat, please. Got ideas? Feel scared? Maria. Much easier, thank you. Smile face, learned a lot. Somewhat easier. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for popping the messages. Interesting. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to next part, which is philosophy of characters. Very easy. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, you can keep popping the messages in the chat. Okay, let's look at next page. Here is the quote is from Qi Chunzhang, one of the professors of Peking University. Yeah, you can have a look. The particularity and long history of Chinese characters have had a profound impact of the way of thinking of the Chinese ethnic. So the Chinese ethnic's way of thinking is unique as a whole. I gave you an example. Okay, let's look at this picture. As Minrong mentioned, that the characters are pictogram and ideogram. Here is a heart, and the character heart likes this. Sometimes we make the heart thinner as a radical. So this is a heart, also is a radical, and this is another heart radical. Okay, I'm going to show you another picture. This isn't to scare you. Here is another example that we can look at. It means die or lose. So now let's make a character with those two parts. The left part indicates heart. Right part is lose or die. Together means busy. So when you are busy, you must focus on what you are busy with and have lost yourself. We're all busy. So we need to focus on ourselves. Hope this makes sense. Okay, I gave you another example. These parts can be used to make up both a radical and its characters too. The left parts, it means youth or vitality. And the right part means fight or initiatively fight for it. Together, it means quiet or calm. The concept of Jing is actually a calm state of mind, but full of competitiveness in practice. The most important thing is that quiet carries the core values and ideological connotations of China's three mainstream philosophies: Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next example is this character, which means rich. The top part in black is roof radical. I'm going to show you the picture. What this word represents is the scene of putting a jar of wine in the house. Why people don't consider keeping money and food as rich? This means rich. Do you have an idea? Why people don't consider keeping money or food? No clue. Thank you. That's very honest. No clue. Okay, let me tell you. Because wealth is actually a feeling of confidence. A person who only has access will be worried all day long that it might get stolen. Such a person is neither happy nor can he be called a rich person. So wine represents happiness and sharing and represents many beautiful things. People need to turn excess food into wine and use excess money to buy things that make people happy in order to be called rich. Because what they feel is kind of spiritual richness and satisfaction. Hope this makes sense. Okay, let's move on to next bit. I gave you the chance to guess the meaning. Thank you. Now it's your turn. The top part in blue means less. Bottom part in green means power or force. I give you two options to choose. What do you think? Type the numbers for each of them. One. So we have 3 ones, more twos. Cheerful. One more ones. Yeah, I would say the answer is 1. Yeah. How much or how little effort you put in will determine the quality of your life. Yes, so the answer is 1. Okay, next. You have more chance to guess. Next one. The right part, the left part in red, you already know that is a heart radical. The right part in blue means white or blank. Do you think the meaning is scared or excited? If your heart, 111, scared, well done everyone. The answer is scared. Because in the ancient time, people thinking things is from the heart rather than the brain. So they think if I have no idea to do the presentation, oh, that's scared. I lost all the ideas what I'm going to say. So scared. That's the answer. Well done. Okay, next. On the left, we know it already as well, is person radical. And on the right is the character of Puvailin. What do you think you would do if you were walking and saw a Puvailin? You will go running or stopping? Excellent. Yeah, the answers are yes, stop. Have a rest, sit the inside and have a rest there. Stop. So this means stop. Okay, the last one. On the left, it means arms, and the right part means give. What do you think the whole meaning, the whole character's meaning? I give you the meanings of those. One is comfortable, one is lazy. 2, 1, 1, 1. It is comfortable. Well done. Whether you are giving or receiving charity, you will feel comfortable. This is not a physical sense of comfort, but rather an emotional and spiritual one. Okay. Now, I would say that Chinese is different from Western languages. It has many unique sounds and meanings and contains philosophy and art. This is why, as one of the oldest languages, it has always been full of charm. Okay, for reasons of time, we are only able to list a few quick examples of the magic and the charm of Chinese characters. We hope everyone enjoy it and would like to thank you very much for choosing our sessions today again. Now, please feel free to type any questions or provide feedback in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for the positive feedbacks. Thank you, people. Any questions? There are quite a lot of messages. Keep an eye for the questions.
Yeah, I can see the first question I can see here is how many characters do children learn at primary school?
Oh, I mean, that depends. Yeah. So you mean in Chinese school or in Scotland, in the UK? Who gave the question? Didn't find that. In Chinese school, and there's lots of, I would say, probably thousands in primary. Yeah.
So, Maria is curious about names. How come Chinese names are first name last, and last name first?
Yeah, that's good. Good question. Chinese in our mind. Let me make it bigger. That's a really good question. We consider the biggest thing goes first. So family's name, that's all the family share the name. So family always be the biggest thing. So the bigger one goes first. And same as the date, the month, and the year. We say the year first, like today is 10th November 2023. In Chinese, we say 2023 year, November and 10th. Yeah, so that's the logic. The biggest one goes first. We consider family always be the biggest.
And the next question, can people make up new words by adding different characters?
That's a really good question. Interesting. Can people make? The languages are changing over the time. Some characters is changed. Some characters are changed even, the language nowadays people use in China. I think Mirun been leaving Scotland for a long time as well. I've been in Scotland for 16 years already. And when I go back to China, I found some language I never heard. I think the characters, it does.
Yes, and so the answer is yes, that you can make up new words by adding different characters. And the next question is, do native Chinese speakers find it easy to read both traditional and simplified characters?
Yeah, the simplified readers, they can read the traditional characters. For example, me and Mei Rong, we speak Mandarin and use the simplified characters. And we can read the traditional characters and we cannot write, there's input and outcomes reasons. Yeah, we can read. And same as the people who use the traditional characters, they can read simplified, but it's quite hard for them to write.
For the reading, it's easy for both users because no matter traditional or simplified, they share similarities. And the next question, let me have a look. Does region accents affect the meaning? Does region accents affect the meaning? The accents, I would say, even if you have different accent, the meaning would still be the same. Like, for example, people in the north, they like to say at the end. For example, they will say like 哪儿 to mean where, and people in the south would prefer to say 哪里, and that also means where. So even though different area we have like different accents, but the meaning it's still the same.
Yes, same as the English. Scottish has the accents, but people from England, you can also understand though. just apart from the dialects, you know, Minrong is from the southwest of China, southeast, sorry. Yeah, I'm from north part of China. If Minrong speak dialects, I can't understand.
Okay, and the next question, do you have to have a special pen to write the characters? The answer is no, just the same same pen as what other people use. It doesn't affect. But of course, if you want to draw calligraphy, then you will need to use a special calligraphy pen or brush.
I have a question about characters method learning. Missed that question.
What's the best method to learn Chinese characters? So different people they will prefer different ways to learn Chinese characters. For easier characters, of course, it's better if you see the, for example, pictogram, ideogram. It's good that you know what it means originally, and that will help you remember how to draw the Chinese characters. For the complex character, like Xiaoyan mentioned, radicals. To remember the radicals, that is a good way to remember how to draw and learn characters. And also, there's a website, and there are actually many websites that you can use to practice your characters and see the strokes order. So I will later leave so it's called MDBG, Chinese dictionary. So if you like type MDBG Chinese dictionary through the internet, you will find it useful to learn Chinese characters. And the next question, are there tips you have for memorizing characters as an adult? And that's the same answer as the last one. It's easy to understand the first building blocks, but I wonder if it gets harder to remember all. Okay, so and it would be good to follow the stroke orders and then to keep writing, like to repeat drawing the characters. How do you come up with a Chinese character for new words that didn't exist before? For example, words to do with new technology. How do you come up with a Chinese character for new words that didn't exist before? So nowadays, there are some new words like internet. It's popular via the whole internet, and when people use it, it starts to get popular. Like everyone else who use internet a lot start to use it, and the older generation they probably don't know what it means, but the younger generation and normally tend to know these words more. Is there an official body in China that is in charge of setting new characters for new words or concepts, like the Académie Française? Not too sure. Okay. Xiaoyan, do you have any idea? Is there an official body in China that is in charge of setting new characters for new words or concepts?
We do have the official body in charge of setting the characters, but you need to learn about the new words of concepts as well, you know.
Okay. How do you represent names of celebrity like non-Chinese? So if it's Western, for example, there you would normally have an English name or French name, and then in China, based on the pronunciation. For example, David Beckham. In his name in Chinese is 贝克汉姆. That's based on his surname, Beckham, Beckham. So it's based on the pronunciation. For country's name, some of the country's name, it's the same based on the pronunciation. and some are just based on, for example, China as middle country, America as beautiful country, and also France as low country. So it's interesting. How do Chinese type? So to type Chinese characters, we have pinyin system, and in the keyboard you can type, for example, Ni Hao by typing NIHAO. I realized, oh, I think that's the last question. Which online translator is the best for English Chinese for both Mandarin and Cantonese? I use DeepL, which uses simplified characters. Okay. For the dictionary, the one I mentioned earlier, MDBG, this one, it shows both traditional character and simplified character. So I think this one is a really good one for practicing characters. However, for Cantonese, I'm not too sure. So, and I realized like the time is already now like 10:46. So Xiaoyan, do you mind go to next page? Yes, so if you have more questions, feel free to contact both Xiaoyan and myself. We would be very happy to answer questions for you. Okay, and thank you for joining today's session. 谢谢.
Thank you, everyone.
So maybe leave to next last page. So if anyone would like to note down the email. Okay, 谢谢.
Thank you.
再见.
再见，再见 everyone. 再见。